Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to all my dear students. We are going to have the third lesson in Unit 2, Rags to Riches. And this lesson is a C grammar lesson. In that lesson, we are going to talk about the difference between using used to and be used to. Be careful of using be. Be means what? And, is, are, was, or were. Here at first, we are going to learn how to use used to. Of course, used to is used plus the base form of a verb. What's the base form of a verb? The first form of a verb. The verb without any endings. And it is used to talk about an activity that was repeated habitually in the past, but which is not done now. So it is used to talk about a past habit which is no longer true at the time of speaking. Okay. This is an example. He used to live in a mansion. He used to live in a big house, but he lost all his money and now he lives in a small apartment. So here when we talk about this past habitual situation, he used to live in a mansion. He used to live in that big house in the past, but now he lives in a small apartment. He is no longer living in that mansion. The second example, she didn't used to. Be careful of the negative form of used to. Didn't used to. This means that this habit didn't happen in the past. So she didn't used to care about money, but now she has become very materialistic. In the past, she didn't used to care about money, but now she cares about money. Note for the negative use didn't used to. Without D, we have to omit the D. The second word to differentiate between is what? Be used to. Her, be used to. Look at this phrase. Be means what, as we said? Am, is, are, was, or were. This phrase must be followed by a gerund or a noun. And it is used to talk about something that has become familiar or habitual, something which happened in the past and is still happening at the time of speaking. Like what? Some people think it's crazy that he works 7 days a week, but he's used to it, so he's accustomed to it. He has no problem working these long hours. So he worked these long hours in the past, and at the same time, he works these long hours now, but he feels no problem doing that because he is accustomed to this or he is used to it. Although she is a millionaire now, she isn't used to shopping in expensive stores. So here, this is the negative form of be used to, is used to. The negative form is what? Isn't used to. Note for the negative use be plus not plus used to. Her. In the negative form, we have to omit D. But here, be used to, we leave D. We leave D. So we say isn't used to with D. The second part in this lesson, my dear students, we are going to talk about is what? Using the word. What's the word? This is the second form of will. Do you know will? When I say I will play, I will go. Yes, this is the second form of will. Will can be used for repeated action in the past versus used to. So here when we talk about repeated actions in the past, we can use used to or we can use what? What can be used to talk about an action that's happened regularly in the past. Used this way, what means the same thing as used to. So when we talk about habitual action in the past, so we can use used to or what. For example, here you can say when I was a child, I would dream of being a millionaire. I would dream. And also I can say when I was a child, I used to dream of being a millionaire. So when we talk about habitual actions in the past that are no longer true at the time of speaking, we can use was or used to. Note, only used to, not what, can be used to talk about a situation, not an action, a situation. That was true without habitual action in the past. So when we talk about situations, we only use used to. But when we talk about past actions which are no longer happening at the time of speaking, we can use would or used to. For example, here, he used to live. Live, this is not an action verb. This is a state. This is a situation. So here we say he used to live. We can say he would live at home until he gets a job. This is incorrect sentence. The last point in our lesson, my dear students, is what? When we talk about predictions in the past. When we talk about predictions in the past or plans which not carried out in the past, we can use this structure: was, were, plus going to, plus the first form of the verb. So was, were, plus going to, plus the base form of the verb. This expression is used to talk about a prediction for the future made in the past or past plan which was not carried out. So when you predict something in the past and you are talking about this prediction now, use was or were going to. Like what? Here, I knew that company was going to be a great success. So I predicted that in the past, but now I'm talking about this prediction. I knew that company was going to be a great success. Also, we can use this expression to talk about a past plan which was not carried out, which we didn't do. Like what? He was going to spend the money. He planned to do that, but he didn't do. So he was going to spend the money, but he decided to invest in the stock market instead. Okay? Now, my dear students, let's move to some exercises. The first exercise. You are asked to complete the sentences with either use or used to or be used to or be careful. Here is that exercise, my dear students. Look after the space. When you have only the base form of the verb or the first form of the verb, now for sure you have to use or used to. But when we have a noun or gerund, verb plus ing, we have to use be used to. Okay, yes. So be careful of that. Number one, we space eat. Eat. What kind of word is the word eat? Yes, it's the base form of the verb. So here we can't use be used to. We are going to use used to. But think with me. We are going to use used to or didn't used to. From the meaning we can guess. We eat all the best restaurants. At all the best restaurants. But then we started saving more money. So this was a past habit. So yes, very good. We use used to. Very good. Excellent. Number two, she's from Costa Rica. So she warm weather. What kind of noun is what kind of word is the word weather? Yes, very good. It's a noun. And this is an adjective. So here when you have a noun or a verb plus ing, we use be used to. So here, P, yes, which form of P is suitable after she? Yes, very good. Is. So here we say is used to. So here she is from Costa Rica, so she is used to warm weather all year round. Now, my dear students, I'll give you a chance to do what? To think of sentences from 3 to 8 and try to contact me on my WhatsApp number and we are going to discuss these points. Okay, let's move to another exercise. In that exercise, as you see, my dear students, you have to use the phrases to write sentences about your own childhood. So here you are free. You are free to talk about anything, but you have to include your sentences either would or didn't used to. In some cases, both are possible. So when you talk about your childhood, you talk about past actual actions or past situations. When you talk about habitual actions, you can use used to or was. But when you talk about past situations, you only can use, yes, very good, used to. For example, help my mother with the cooking. So you can start your sentence saying that when I was a child, I used to help my mother with the cooking. Why? Because help, this is an action verb. So I can say when I was a child, I would help my mother with the cooking. Also here the verb do. This is an action verb. So that's up to you. You can say I used to or I didn't used to, I would or I wouldn't. So you are free. You can say when I was young, when I was little, when I was a child. You are free. I used to go barefoot in the summer, or I would go barefoot in the summer. Okay, so here, when I was young, I always used to go barefoot in the summer. Now, my dear students, this is your role to do from number 2 to number 4. Let's move to the last exercise here, or the last exercise. In that exercise, you have to complete the first part of the sentence. You have to complete the first part. Use was, were, going to talk about plans which were not carried out, or prediction in the past. Yes, very good. And your own ideas. So you are free. For example, here, this is the last part of the sentence. But then I found a better one. But then I found a better one. You can start the beginning of the sentence from your own ideas. Okay. So here you can say, I was going to take the first job. What happened? This was my plan. But then I found a better one. So here I was going to talk about a plan which was not carried out, or something I intended to do, but I didn't do it in the past. Okay. Here, for example, but we were too tired. Think. You can get an idea from your mind about that. But we were too tired. Yes, you were going to do something, but you were too tired. Yes, we were going to eat out in a restaurant. Yes, very good. But we were too tired. You can say so. Or you can say, we were going to visit our uncle, but we were too tired. We were going to watch TV, watch the match, go to the stadium, but we were tired. Look, we were going to watch a film tonight, but we were too tired. Then, my dear students, this is your turn to complete from number 2 to number 6. Thank you very much, my dear students. I hope you benefited a lot from this grammar lesson. I'm waiting for your inquiries and also for your questions on my number on WhatsApp. Okay, thank you very much. We are going to meet next week, inshallah. Goodbye.